Wukong combination, they might not be as potent in the 2v2 when it comes to the mid jungle, but they are much more potent when it comes to straight up 5v5. So their addition is going to be much more impactful in that full-blown teamfight scenario, whereas on the flip side, for DCG, they want to try and keep things as isolated as possible. Smaller skirmishes will be the key, because when it comes to the full-blown team fight, Viego doesn't have that same oomph to be able to get those first resets and help get the ball rolling for the Viego-Ahri combination.
We are going to see some cheeky level ones already here. Hana, don't think he spotted anyone yet, but we do have the support into the top side. Let's see if they go for a late invade. Just waiting for it. Looking at the runes here, we have Ignite starting out for Nasty. You know, not going to go with the TP first here. Interesting choice. That really wants to get something done early. And yeah, each side are going to back out after a tense moment.
Well, this is embarrassing.
I think the Ignite really is to just provide that grievous wounds. He is taking the unsealed spellbook, so we'll still have access to the other summoners at various points in the game. And I think he just wants to make sure that at all stages of the game, they will have access to the Ignite. However, at the same time, like, we've got 3 Ignites already going. Do we need all 3?
You can always swap to something else. I feel like this is kind of signaling for an early kill, but we'll see.
Yeah,
if Hana does
definitely get it. Early game oriented to try and cheese a kill out in this, I would say, mid lane for the most part. So Pretender, hopefully he sees those summoner spells and recognizes the threat possibly here.
Ooh. I think he's so far doing a great job with the Arctic Assault into the grasp here. Taking a lot of HP out of YSKM. The YSKM is still getting the shove down, so he will hit the earlier level 2, and Leaky backing up immediately.
Then we have the YSKM kind of feign a war down into that bush.
Yeah, I love it when players do that.
So
it's the level 2. Grass on the other end too.
Smacking each other back and forth. Of course, the Sejuani, he just had so much more lane damage right now. Kind of stupid that she does. Not gonna lie, when these tanks just have the ability to 1v1 you this early in the game, whew, it is bonkers.
Yeah, it does get pretty crazy there. I don't really think she needs 10% max HP on every stun she gets, but hey, this is where we are in League of Legends. So we have Frank Esports now heading towards the top side. Both of these junglers level 3, but Ohana is going to get spotted out first. Both of them know that they're around here. I think this is a fight necessarily that Holo can win, but he is going to get the cheeky spite out and just walk away with the clone.
And because of where Nesty is with his wave position, it also means that Frank Esports get themselves this top crab, and it should beat Holo just moving straight from top crab to bottom crab, in my opinion, or try and, well, at the very least try and deny it, but it does look like he wants to turn his attention over to those Raptors, which means that Hana will at least be able to secure a Scuttle Crab for himself.
Yeah.
What it does do is really split the map for Frank Esports in the way they like, which is keep top half isolated for YSK.
Here is the Hana cheese going in, but
good
the charm, I'm not even sure that was side step. It just felt like visually it was a little bit off for Nasty here. I'm still going to have a lot of time to go for that Scuttle. I know you were mentioning it, but just take a look at the bot lane here. It seems like Friscata shoving very far in the lane, so should get this one for free. In the meantime, though, Holo, as you were mentioning, gets some time with Leaky. He is not running with a flash. Here we go.
Leaky, let's back off.
Red buff down. Yeah, he knows he's dead.
Yep, very smart execution coming in from Frank Esports. YSKM also doesn't get greedy for the kill, which top laners can sometimes have that moment, you know. And at the very least, he doesn't commit to that. I don't know, at least able to get a little bit something on the flip side, but this is exactly in Frank Esports' wheelhouse. Yeah, YSKM ahead. He doesn't get the kill, but certainly with the extra tier 2 boots, he's going to be much more comfortable taking trades, having that extra move speed to get out.
Yeah, and that's going to allow him to dodge those W's so much easier as well. Holo, on the other hand, just look at this bot. He's packing so much damage coming into this bot lane. I almost feel like I prefer this first kill on the Wukong, just so we can kind of catch up and be the 12.12 self.
Not only that, it gets him that extra kill XP to push him further to level 6, which is, of course, the big moment you have with the Wukong. And if Hana is able to, you know, help facilitate picks for Nesty to try and isolate some of these side lanes, you definitely favor the side of Frank Esports to be able to pull out the first win in these team fights.
Taking a look at YSKM into the top side, he's already hit level 6, and you can tell Leaky wants no part of him whatsoever. He's going to go in for a ward down. But important to note here, we have Karis on a sneaky roam towards the top side. Let's see if they can catch Nesty. He's popping over the wall here. It's going to be dangerous for him, but Frank Esports don't find the timing angle as we have Nesty going back towards his side of the map. YSKM going to run around with his boots too, try to get this first plating down. He's going to pop the counter-strike, but yeah, doesn't find the last tick here. Oh, does get it.
There he goes. Cash out, baby.
Worth. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely worth, as he looks to go for the recall. So he's just very comfortable with just resetting the lane, gets himself a Sheen and a control ward. So very, very happy with how things are transpiring top lane. And in addition, Holo now comes in, sweeps out this ward here, isn't going to overstay his welcome, I don't think, as he also gets a ward onto that Krug camp. So plenty of vision for Eminem and Garys to stay safe. And this is really the target that DCG really want to focus on with this Viego Ahri combination. Just tunneling around bot lane, because you know top lane is just going to try and stay neutral. Don't give up too much to YSKM. And if he oversteps, maybe you get a pick off. But for sure, it's all about this dragon stacking for the side of DCG.
Yeah, these bot lane fights, the first Drake fights are going to be so good for Frank Esports. I really love this Swain pick, just because it's so good when you have a bunch of champions that are low range. You stand around them, you keep on healing off of them, and then they can't escape when you actually release that Demonic Ascension. Strong picks across the board, and it does seem like that's the goal right here. Holo going to start that one. We have the TP coming in from Pretender, and on the flip side, Hana not even looking for this contest. He's actually heading towards the other side. Let's see if Cascada gets caught out here. He doesn't spot the Wukong, and in comes the surprise party, just out of nowhere. Everyone just dancing forward. That's gonna be 2 kills plus the Drake.
Oh my god, what a clean execution, Clement, onto that kill in that bottom side. I love the vision toggle as well. Cascada Woody did not know what was in store for them until it just popped out of the bush. YSKM understands the situation as well. In fact, he's going to try and collapse. He has Swain coming over as well.
That's the flash. Wow, Hana just has to burn the long cooldown. Decides to keep his ultimate just in case that there's a fight to be had here. YSKM going in, but there's no spot on the other side. YSKM might just be falling down. Yes, the Sejuani pops over the wall. Now Pretender is the next target. DCG looking to get some revenge here, but Pretender goes forward, gets the kill onto Ahri, and actually stays alive with the passive right here. They can't take it down. Pretender turns this one around with the flash forward. Now Woody is going the wrong direction. Goodbye, Cat. That's a cat that's not going to be able to chase down the pigeon here.
I don't know how they did it, but Frank Esports somehow won both sides of the map. That is something that should not happen, right? When you invest a 3-man into that bot to get the kill, you have numbers advantage on the flip side. And that's what DCG tried to make the play off of. Yet the reinforcements came in time that they were also able to win out on that trade as well. They get themselves Rift Herald. They've got everything to play off of. And yes, they might be able to get one play in the bot lane, but what did it cost? It cost you pretty much everything.
The problem here is, you know, after they take the Jacks down, ain't nobody got damage against this switch. Look at this play from Pretender. He's got the full stack, sets up, and he goes, not the full stacks, you know, full duration, goes back, gets all that HP, and Leaky can't find the last W. Oh, absolutely beautiful play from Pretender. He found the only way to get out of that one alive.
Yeah, and for DCG, as I mentioned in the pre-show, I think that this team has the highest floor, but they also have the lowest ceiling out of our top teams. And Frank Esports is one of those teams that if they're able to access their ceiling, it definitely eclipses the likes of DCG, and we saw there in that moment, Frank Esports able to execute around their win conditions just a little bit better than DCG, and that's resulting in a massive gold lead at just 11 minutes in.
Yeah, we're taking a look at the gold graph. 3,000 gold, objective over to Frank Esports. They have the definitive lead here in these 5-mans early on, and I'm not sure what window DCG can play through because they're not going to be able to challenge as a 5v5 anytime soon. They don't have a split pusher, so what do you do here?
Yeah, at this point, you need to be able to start moving Leaky out of lane. He has to be sort of the primary roamer to try and help snowball one of these other lanes, whether it's just opening Nesty up for a roam himself or just try and get a kill onto Pretender. Now Pretender has that first item completed. This is a big power spike for the side of Frank Esports. This is why Swain is so good, because of his cheap itemization. The spikes gained from just that one item is really, really nuts. And this team fight phase, if Frank Esports ever group up as 4, the 4-man group is much stronger than DCG because of this item differential.
The Wukong especially, getting 7 takedowns already, that's absolutely massive. It's been a while since we've actually seen Wukongs take over games, and it's a good reminder of how good he can still actually be. We're going to get a bot lane attempt at a tower dive. The Herald is coming here, and someone has to alleviate pressure. This could be a very dangerous scenario. No one on Frank Esports actually going to be swiping this one down, so DCG going to be fine into this one. It's going to be a Herald drop, and that should take the tower down to less than 1 plate. Hola coming in from the back. Nobody in position to save Friscata. That's going to be 4 plates going over to Frank.
4 plates taken, and also some attention being pulled from the mid jungle of DCG. So freeing up a lot of time for them. Eminem does get his back stopped. And all things considered, Frank Esports being able to maintain this gold lead is more than their own comfort zone. They aren't exactly a team that will just take a 3k gold lead and just balloon it into something like 7k very early on. They're a much more methodical squad, and that might give DCG the opportunity to find opportunities to try and flip the game script back in their favor.
Oh, Leaky trying to get Wisecam down to burst range. He does still have that ignite and the frozen prison here. I mean, through the glacial prison, excuse me. Play by play, so. And Wisecam going to back off for his mythic here. So we are setting up for a, it's going to be the next Herald coming up soon, and I'm not sure how DCG play this one. Do you just give it up, or do you look for trades? What's your mentality going into the next objective of your deep cross?
I think for DCG, they really want to contest around the dragon and try and sneak away. If they can...
I have to cut you off, sorry. Leaky actually getting
Ultimate
stuck
burn.
here. Well,
Long
he's
way
just
from
gone. And yeah, bot lane, Frank Esports do it again. They kill 2 members on 2 sides of the map. That's not supposed to happen.
Clement, they just won both halves of the map again. Man, this is really just ridiculous with what they're able to get away with. And they get themselves first tower solo goal into Eminem as well. Replay here, I mean, it's Friscata all by himself. One of the differences is hey, if Yumi's able to walk down here, she can't just kill the support or kill the AD carry like that. But when it's Rakan, he does have the ability to engage and actually succeed in finding the kill afterwards too.
Yeah, if you are playing that Yumi, you have to make those roams work, or else your bot lane is just wide open there. And wow, I feel like a sense of dread is settling in. If DCG do not find that 14th win, they're not going to be able to catch up to PSG or potentially J-Team later on, which means they're out of the top two, potentially.
Yeah, they would have to really hope that J-Team drop the ball against Beyond Gaming, which isn't out of the realm of possibility, right? Because Beyond Gaming is still a positive win record squad in our league, so definitely no slouches. It's okay. Looking for a pick. They need to find picks with this combination, right? This is what the draft really lined up for. Is Nesty and Hana teaming up and finding resets with the pick power of Diego, Ari, and so far it's not paying off.
They're already 5,000 gold behind at 16 minutes. We're going to be taking a look at the items across the board right here. The first mythics have been coming out, and now this is a time frame where DCG aren't actually behind in terms of full items. Maybe they're going to look for an opportunity to engage here before the gold lead moves any further. Frank Esports actually the one to pull the trigger. Krishkata already using Thrill of the Hunt there, on the hunt there. And we have DCG trying to trade away the Herald, but the question is, can they get away? Nesty finds
here's the pick!
Olo gets bursted down. That's the first kill, and the final chapter onto the entire backline. They're going to turn this one around. Barry's already got to, but Pretender stays alive through the first damage once again. Eminem gonna try to turn this one around. YSKM jumps forward to take names and to take positioning in the postseason. Woody, goodbye. Triple kill to Jax. DCG had such a good start, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter because YSKM shows up at the end of the party and mops the floor with the bodies of DCG. Because they also weren't able to burst down Eminem and finish off that kill, he's able to contribute to the damage, and the mobility is too much as they start out very, very well, and to be fair, they get a big shutdown, getting that pick onto Hollow. But the damage right afterwards, Pretender staying alive because he has that stopwatch, there's just way too much for them to handle. The healing coming out from him in stasis further making trouble for them, and Leaky, he is very, very far from home.
Yeah, nowhere to go here. He just falls down. And now we have the gold lead balloon to 6,000 gold. YSK, a dominant force onto the side lanes. Herald still up here. Frank Esports, they can play this in so many different ways. DCG, I can feel the desperation plays coming through as we just saw Nesty pop the Spirit Rush.
Yeah, however, unlike some of our other top teams, they are willing to still look and fish for these plays. But Woody out by himself
gets one. Woody, can he get away here? He pops the final chapter. Whew, that was a close one.
It's still an ultimate burn though, which means that they are going to concede positioning over for this second Herald. Won't be an objective bounty secured by them, and in fact, Frank Esports now given really all the opportunity to snowball this game out of control. As it's only 19 minutes into the game, and there's a 6,000 gold lead. So this is right where Frank Esports are comfortable, having very large leads, so they aren't forced to try and make a decision of like, do we try and flip the game? No. Now they don't need to take heavy risks, which is where this team can run into trouble.
We have seen some issues with Frank Esports when they're side lane split pushing with YSKM. Sometimes they won't play safe enough in the 4-man. And I think DCG, that might be their angle back into this game right now. But they have to strike first, they have to strike hard. And if we look at the targets they can burst down, it's pretty much just the Rakan or the Wukong. That doesn't sound particularly well. They're going for the Rakan here. Let's see if they can find it. And Karras actually turns around with quickness, pops right out.
Quickness, use, flash also use. So at the very least, they burn 2 key cooldowns from carries. And that might offer at least a return opening to try and pick them off afterwards. minute and a half until this next dragon for Frank Esports. They are in firm control over this area because of how far ahead all their champions are. And for DCG, it's about being able to catch one of these champions in transition over to a objective and try and pick them off. And maybe if they find 2 or maybe even 3 picks, they could change it into a Baron buff. So that would be DCG's really big hope here.
That seems like a mistake from Holo as
Ambitious.
he immediately pops it, and they're gonna catch Hana here.
Oh, that's a flash forward!
With flash, and they find the follow-up Pretender coming in. Visions of Empire, I don't think found the targets right there, but they do burn all summoners from this Criscata. Meanwhile, Nesty gets to pick up a free Herald. Good for him.
Yeah, I think Hollow really wanted to use his sweeper in that instance, and because Herald was still on there.
Leaky? Okay, he's out, Never mind.
And in that mid lane kerfuffle, a lot of summoners burned. Criscata losing both of his makes this team fight incredibly difficult, especially when you're trying to run away from a Jax, although Jax possibly caught out by himself.
Yeah, let's see if Nesty tries to close that angle. No, DCG actually all heading into the river. They're going to go for the front-to-back team fight. But Pretender does have the flash there. If he just flashes on Criscata, there's no way they can play this one. So, Frank Esports. Oh, they find YSKM. Probably one of the best targets to start this thing off. Pretender going into the back line right now.
He's in the middle,
mounting onto everyone. And they do not even get the Jax down. Frank Esports just walk away with everything. How did YSKM survive that? It's insane.
He manages to live because of how durable he is with that ultimate pop, survives the burst damage, and now they're able to reset. They get everything they want. This is actually going to be the teleport coming in to hold the tower, Pretender back in time, and DCG don't even get table scraps.
Oh, that was such a funny TP from Pretender. He's going in 1v3, and he's just like, yeah, it's totally fine. No problem here. You know, you could charm me. I mean, technically, he should have been charmed there anyway.
Yes.
He's like, I don't care.
And this is the trouble point because Pretender in his build path, this is probably where he's weakest, where he doesn't have the Zanya's Hourglass available to him. Yes, he has the utility coming in from the Rylai's, and if he's able to get into the backline, they are going to be slowed, but he can still be burst out. Especially when they have 3 ignites, right? The healing isn't going to be that much. It's not going to make up that. But once he gets that Zanya's Hourglass, which should be very soon, that's going to be all remedied. Carries is out in no man's land.
He still should be fine with the double dashes here coming in against Eminem. The problem here for DCG is, okay, if you burst Pretender, there's still YSKM with 412 and 700 gold bounty on Eminem. Zanya also completed here.
Yeah, now the Zanya's completed. He's almost level 16 as well, which means he gets access to rank 3 ult. I don't even know if it even matters if you throw that ignite onto him, with how much healing is going to come out from the level 3 ult. And they just have no answers right now. They need to find a pickoff, but those opportunities for a pickoff are getting narrower and narrower because they weren't able to find anything with this Viego Ari in the early mid game.
I'll be honest, my mentality has changed from how can DCG come back to how many people can Pretender solo by himself. I feel like the number is pretty damn high at this point. I think he could take on 3, realistically. I'm not joking. I feel like he could probably take on both carries plus the Yuumi here.
Yeah, the issue is there's not that much burst damage coming out from DCG, right? So he definitely can just sustain through it.
Hana trying to find the target here. Nasty goes in, does find the charm, but not the follow-up. In goes Pretender with the Rylai's. He's zoning in 4 members. He still has his Zanias. Bird Band don't care as he rushes through DCG. Nobody taken out on the side of Frank Esports, and they turn for Baron.
Question answered. He didn't go by himself, but he lived for a damn long time. against 5 people in the middle of everyone, and Frankie Esports, they concede that mid tower finally, but that's just, it's not even table scraps. This is like the trash bin scraps.
The compost heap, basically.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, all I need to see right now, I think Frank Esports, it's your time to style. I know winning this game is really important, but so is entertainment. So I want to see Pretender into one of these silents, start playing the 1-3-1, but I'm going to let you walk us through this team fight first.
Nesty understands they have to make a play somewhere, so that's why he goes in, tries to find the pick. Unfortunately, Leaky whiffs the ultimate. I don't think it would have mattered because they just don't have the damage to burst through Pretender. Even though he is still level 15, doesn't have the rank 3 ultimate, not enough damage. That's the issue you run into when you do pick the Ahri as well, right? Because you just don't have the burst damage. It's a lot about...
Cam coming in for an engage. He gets charmed down, but the rest of the team doesn't matter. He's going to stay alive throughout all that. Polo goes in for the counter charge. Pretender cannot find anyone. They're going to deal a lot of damage. Wayne in the front line, but no, Rakan able to catch out onto Nesty. Ahri not able to flash away. He's gonna fall down, and boy oh boy, it's really hard to get away from those never moves and the Rylai.
Now Frank Esports, 30 seconds, 20 seconds until Dragon. Fully expect them to just send YSKM to snag that objective while they push as a 4-man crew.
Pushing in even further. Holo taking a lot of damage. Carry's still fishing for it. We are seeing the damage start to hurt from Friscata. And in the top side, Leaky, he just burned his TP, but YSKM was right there. He's not going to find the surprise angle. Frank Esports, they have a lot of low HP bars, but they're still willing to go for the Ocean Soul. DCG are forced to fight this one out. Pretender in the front line. Can they burst him? The answer is likely no, as the back line has just evaporated between YSKM and carries, and I think that's all she wrote.
If it wasn't hard enough to kill Pretender before, you have to deal with Ocean Soul. Sway. So, that difficulty just went to insanity levels. And now, it's just Nesty left. He doesn't have much wave clear as the Ahri, so this should be the side of Frank Esports being able to clean up most of the base, if not even the Nexus, although that timers might stop that one.
Yeah, we will have a full revive by the time they go to the Nexus. Frank Esports could think this fast, they could think it slow, but I think with so much on the line here, they are looking at that top 4 finish, so they will gradually increase their chances here as we take a look at Pretender, once again, surviving through everything.
Now level 16, he gets pretty close, you know? Izanya's at a pretty late moment. But once that Ocean Soul kicks in as well, like, he's already to quarter HP from almost no HP, so now it's going to be nigh impossible as DCG, this comp just has really met its timer. Unless if Frank Esports make an egregious mistake themselves and get picked off, I think this game is pretty much done and dusted. It's 13k gold lead. You have an Ocean Soul, and even if they don't end the game straight up right now, which they definitely can, at some point you have to fight against Ocean Soul Frank Esports to try and contest Elder.
Alright, raid boss down. That's all Deep Cross Gaming need, okay? Focus down, Pretender. I know this sounds like terrible advice, and you're probably still going to lose the game, but hey, you sent a message. Birdman can't go everywhere, okay? So DCG, let's see if you can pull it off. Frank Esports, I don't think they're going to give them the chance to regain their reputations here. Frank Esports now just moving in on 2 sides, crashing down onto this tower. DCG able to hold off by clearing the minion wave. They're burning a lot here to do it. YSKM continuing to pressure, and you have those super minions heading towards the base on the other side. Ooh, let's see, Hana does get out, but what can they do on the next wave? The wave here is so short range. In they go for the first full burst combo. Carries does fall down, but Pretender charges through. DCG, you get one kill, but they don't have the firepower to take down anyone more. Wise can't even willing to flash forward Zanias in front of the fountain. He goes deep. He doesn't care.
Okay.
And Pretender is still going to stay alive. Eminem nearly goes down there, and that could end the push. But he's going to walk back and go towards the Nexus. He's going to collect the kill. They had their fun, but they're still going to put a cap out of this game. Congratulations to Frank Esports. They are going to tie with